Good afternoon, YouTube. This is your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. I know I've been kind of behind my bodybuilding content. You know, a lot of my supporters and my fans like when I talk about female bodybuilders. But you know, with so much stuff going on with this whole situation, like I like to call it, it's kind of distracting. But you know what? I'm gonna try to get back to it as much as I can, as often as I can for you, my supporters and my subscribers. But right now, I'm gonna represent you one lady here, a four-time Miss Olympia, and one of the few women to have wins over um, uh, Miss Olympia legend Linda Murray. This is one Kim Chizevsky Nichools. Now, Miss Nichools was born April the 23rd of 1968 in Charleston, Illinois. Now, when she was 2 years old, her family moved to Decatur, Illinois, back in 1970. And at that time, she was going to school, elementary school, at E.J. Murphy Elementary, where she became really into sports. Quite often, like most female bodybuilders, they always have an athletic background. It's just, and she played basketball, volleyball, and she was also a cheerleader. Now, when she finally got to Dwight Eisenhower High School, she became a star in multiple sports. Besides playing volleyball and basketball, she also was a track and field star. She competed in 100, 400, and 100 mile relays, and also through the shot put and the discus. Now, and she was also a long jumper. That takes a lot of strength to jump. You got to, how long jump, you have to run and take that big jump, and that's a lot of strength for the legs. Well, after she graduated from Dwight Eisenhower High School in '86, she went to Southern Illinois University. Now, those 3 years, she studied legal and medical secretarial service, and she also worked as a paralegal for the firm Bird, McCarthy, and Roden. While in college, she joined the dance squad and also participated in aerobics. Now, and that was like a good part of the '80s. The aerobics movement was really growing popular and strong, and I think it was also a good strength for the growing in for the bodybuilding movement. Now, by '88, she became an aerobic instructor, and she was dating her future husband, Chad Nichools. Now, Chad helped direct Kim into a career into bodybuilding, and 3 months later, she competed in her first show, which was the 1989 NPC Junior Tri-State. Now, she took second place as a light heavyweight, and with the exception of two other shows, she won first place and as an amateur. Now, by '92, she earned her pro card by winning the IFBB North American Championship. She took this first spot as a heavyweight and won the overall championship. She made her pro debut in '93 at the Miss International. Now, the Miss International, that's the second biggest show, and it's connected to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Pro Classic. Now, she took first place, which gave her a shot at the '93 Miss Olympia. But that show, she took second place to the then champion, Linda Murray. Now, she came back in '94 and placed fifth at Miss International, which put her out of a chance to play at Miss O that year. Then later, she came back in '95 and took both second place at Miss International and Miss Olympia. But by '96, she won the Miss International and then became the new Miss Olympia by beating Linda Murray. She became the first female bodybuilder to win both Miss International and Miss Olympia, that was history making. You have like several bodybuilders, like I mentioned, Laura Cravel that year. She often won that. She won that 3 times, and Vicky Yates, she won it multiple times. But neither ladies have won both. There's only been maybe 3 women who have both won Miss International and Miss Olympia that same year. And the first one was Kim. The second one was Iris Kyle, and the third one is Yexenia King. Now, '97 came around, and Linda Murray came back to try to get her championship, but she lost to Kim, being one of the first women to beat Linda both in '96 and '97, and she's only one of 2 women to beat Linda Murray for Miss Olympia, Kim Chizevsky and Iris Kyle. Now, she competed from '98 to '99. And after '99, she decided to retire because of gender bias, gender bias guidelines being pushed by IFBB. Now, as you know, the IFBB was trying to push that 20% less muscle for all female bodybuilders, because they want to go back to the classic look of the, I think the late 80s, early 90s. But she didn't want to do that. But instead, she decided to drop a lot of her muscle, come back in 2001, and compete as a fitness competitor. To me, I don't know, you kind of, in a way, even though you decided to retire for that reason, kind of way did what they wanted you to do when you decided to become a fitness competitor instead of sticking as a bodybuilder. And to me, that's always been, to me, she being a 4-time Miss Olympia, to me, I feel like a slap in the face. I know there's been quite a few female bodybuilders who have competed as bodybuilders and switched to fitness. But I think, to me, being a Miss Olympia is a lot worse to do it. But as her career as a fitness competitor started, she didn't do as well. She placed, I think she placed around in 2001. She placed 6th at the IFBB fitness show, and she came back in 2002 at the Southern Pro Fitness and placed 4th. Now, after she had her firstborn son, she came back in 2002 and competed in 2 more shows, but didn't do as well. She eventually just decided to get out of the sport of bodybuilding. And, at that time, she was married. She married her husband, Chad, back in '93, and they have 2 children, and now they live in Springfield, Minnesota. Now, back in 2000, she made her acting debut in the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez, and she has a little part where it's like she'll have a speaking role. It's more of like a little part where she's just it's like a dream sequence. Remember the part in the, if you ever saw the movie Cell, J-Lo is this doctor. She gets in the brain of a serial killer, and there's a part in the movie where Kim walk around. She's like supposed to be topless, but it says she's not really topless. She's wearing some kind of latex fake pair of breasts. And she's walking around, and she attacks J-Lo. But also, she did an episode of Geraldo back in '95 with a bunch of other female bodybuilders such as Sharon Bernot, Linda Murray, Debbie Mugley, and we talked about the sport of bodybuilding. She even did a bodybuilding documentary in 2000s. We talked about how the sport of women's bodybuilding from the 80s to the 2000s. And she, and then in about 2008, she got into the IFBB Hall of Fame for bodybuilding. And she did a lot. I mean, for a female bodybuilder in her career, I mean, she was a 2-time Miss International, a 4-time Miss Olympia. She has 2 wins over Linda Murray, and even though she kind of, in a way, to me, I'm gonna say it again, she slapped female bodybuilding in the face by becoming a fitness competitor. She did pretty good. I've seen some videos of her back in the day, but I think she still had some difficulties because being that fitness competition, you had to do a lot of flipping and a lot of running, and I think she wasn't really accustomed to it. I mean, she was a cheerleader in the past, but being a bodybuilder for almost 20-some years, it's just hard to try to switch that on and off, and you gotta be really flexible, and that's probably a lot of difficulties what it was. She wasn't really going up to what the judges wanted to see. But like I said, she's a legend, and I will put her in the top 5 of all greatest female bodybuilder. Number 1 has to be, it's gonna be Iris Kyle, and you got Linda, and you got you're gonna most certainly say Corey, and then it's her. You would say she's number 4. But like I said, she's a legend, and she needs to respect your memory, and just what she really contributed to the sport, not just for great muscle, but for looks and beauty. It's your man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, don't subscribe. I'm out.